Welcome to the weekly Momentum webinar series, and welcome back. And those that are watching who are new, welcome to this space. This is your go-to space for growth, clarity, and actionable insight. Each week, we gather to reset our focus and sharpen our mindset, and build real momentum toward our 2026 goals. So looking forward to hearing how this all impacts you every week as we do move along. What we're going to do is today we're actually launching a new part of the series. So it's a 25-week series. It's with 5 pillars, and this pillar is wealth and money mindset pillar. There will be 5 of these, and they're 5 weeks apart for just the money mindset. It's every week, but the pillars do rotate, so they're not, we're not repeating ourselves or just focusing on that one thing for a solid period. I find, at least for me, it's more interesting. I hope it is the same way for you. So, and these pillars are all designed to really master your inner strength and your inner states. And this one is to help master your outer wealth. So the first session in this series is called Rewiring Wealth, Transforming Limiting Beliefs About Money. Because until we change, and we've been working on this for the last couple of weeks, until we change what we think and feel about money, every strategy we apply is only temporary. So let that sink in. Every strategy is temporary. You'll notice, like, everything we do today is not numbers, it's about emotion. So take a deep breath in and out. We're not going to work on, we're going to now actually work on the emotional guidance chart. And Jen and Kath, do you have that? Or I reposted it in the chat if you need it. So if you would take a look at that. Also it's in, as I mentioned, I think in the first week, it's in this promptings journal, which I did my emotional guidance chart today. I do it almost every day. And today I woke up with exciting vision, and I want to be in passion and empowerment. So that's where I want to be today. Would you write down where it is you are right now? Take a moment to think about that. So on the scale from joy at the top to worry, fear, or frustration on the bottom, what we call below the line, it's in the right or left side. Right side is what's also in this, it's called below the line. The right side are the negative emotions. And you've got this is the chart you're working on. So where are you at this moment? And now, this is a little different than what we've been doing. I'm going to ask you today, where do you want to be today? Usually I ask you at the end of the session, and we're not going to do that today. I usually ask you at the end of the session, where are you now after the session? What I'd like to know is what would you choose? Where would you like to live today on this chart? So the beauty of this chart, and why it's part of the journal that I showed you and our work together, is that it reminds us our emotional state is a choice, and it's our choice. So I'm curious for both of you, is that emotional state where you choose to be, is that different from where you are now, or is it the same? What would you say about that?
I would say it's for me, I feel I've moved up from a 4 to a 3 enthusiasm.
Oh, awesome.
So, and I'm happy to be just at 3 right now.
Excellent. I mean, you're already on, high on, this guidance chart, and That's where you really want to live, and that's where you attract the best things to you. So, Jen, where are you? What would you share that with us?
Well, I did put it in the chat, but
Okay.
unfortunately, this has been, even though
Uh,
it's only Tuesday, it's been a bit of a down week. So
yeah.
right now I'm between 10 and 11, and I want to just get back to what I'm normally, which is 3 and 4.
Right. Well, if we can support you, let us know. And hopefully this program will help you to at least take your mind off maybe some of those things that are putting you down at a, 10 or 11 and help you raise that. Um, and thank you for sharing that, your authenticity, Jen. I appreciate that. So today, one thing you want to remember is money follows emotion, and money also follows energy. So that's why we want to track our emotion to know where we are. Um, and both of you, thank you for doing that. Um, it's not so much about labeling feelings as good or bad. It's really about awareness and awareness of beginning the mastery of it. So we're going to do another activity that we have done in the past. We're going to do the breathing exercise because I do want to help you get into that emotional state to be as open as possible. And also during our time together, remember to please drink water because that helps the brain incorporate the learning that you really want to take away from today. So we're going to do 5 quick breaths. So I don't know if you want to move away from your desk or whatever. Arms go up, you breathe in, arms come down, you breathe out. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Great, great. That's a short abbreviated. Usually it's 10 times up and down, and it's 3 times, 3 sets of those. So breathing in and out can actually change your emotional state. So nice. So now let's think of 3 things that you are grateful for in your life right now. What would be 3 things? You can close your eyes or just write them down. What are 3 things in this moment that you're grateful for, that you're deeply grateful for? I'm deeply grateful for Kathleen. She's been a good friend for a long time. So see them vividly. See
You
those.
want these in the chat?
Sure, that would be great. That would be excellent. See them vividly and feel them fully in your heart. And next, send that gratitude outward. Share it with the world. Send it to someone you love, a client, your future self. That's always a good one. Send it to your future self. Excellent. And now, this is an important part of today, is I'd like you to close your eyes and visualize your ideal financial future 6 months from now. Your joyful, generous, inflow future. Take a deep breath into that picture. Let it out. And anchor that image into your posture. Breathe it in. This is your wealth frequency that you are setting up. Great. So now open your eyes. So every financial result is connected to a story that we tell ourselves. Some stories empower us and some quietly shrink us. Maybe you've heard things like money doesn't grow on trees. I mean, all of us here have heard that money doesn't grow on trees. People don't like us because we're rich or getting richer. But whose story is that for you? What story do you have going on in your tapes? Um, if you're someone listening to the replay of this and you've just started out on your financial journey, or like Jen and Kathleen and I were, we're at our mid point in our financial journey. What is the story that you're telling yourself? Does it belong in your next chapter? This story is really important. Again, I must say that in this journal, every day I write down my story. It's right here. It says, connect with abundance in your story. So what is your story? What is your abundant story? So please take a minute, I'll time it, and write your story. What's the story that's going on in your head, that you want? Well, let's start off. What is the story that's going on in your head right now about your financial situation or picture? And I'm going to ask you to make it brief. If you can always come back to this and rewrite it, but I suggest you don't go back to the old story. We're going to make this an old story, and we're going to rewrite a new one. So write the old story. Be honest with yourself, really feel in your gut what it is that's holding you back from your vision. What in that what in that old story, what emotions, what messages, what thoughts keep you tied there, or who keeps you tied there? Okay. Are you about complete on that story? Or if you're not, please go back to it. That would be an ideal situation. And actually, as I just said, don't go back to it. Let's write the new one. So this is the moment you begin rewriting. Take a moment. We're going to take another minute to write your new story. And your new story is about empowering, like what it is you want your story. My story starts out, I am living an abundant life. Da 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 da. And I read it pretty much every day.
Mine is basically, you're told that, oh, you have to be very cautious, you have to save because you don't know what's going to happen. And really, I have to change it to you can spend, you'll always be all right.
Excellent. So change it to that. And Kathleen, maybe it's about getting more specific.
Well, like
I
it's like
yeah,
a friend said, oh, you should always have X amount of money in case you need home health or whatever it is at the later
right,
years and stuff. So,
right.
be careful about what you spend. And then I'm like, well, you do with that when it comes to it. Why don't you spend and do what you want now while you're living? Anyway, that's the new parameter.
Right, right. And I'm not a financial advisor. And what I would say is maybe in this moment, it may be different in 10 or 15, 20 years from now, but in this moment, do an estimate of what you think it might cost. If that's your concern and that's holding you back, make an estimate and put that money aside or work to have that so that you can spend more joyfully and freely. Um, that recording in your head is keeping you small when when it might not need to. It's really interesting when you work in budgeting. um, there's a premise. Well, it's not even a premise. It's really been studied. But people, when they have a budget, spend less than the budget. People who don't have a budget actually spend more because they don't have a direction, they don't have a measurement. So when you have a budget and you know what you can spend and you're spending less, kind of interesting. Now that gives you the freedom to spend. So maybe that's a thought to follow up on that, Kath. Um, I just want to say I do this with many of my one-on-one private clients in coaching, and we debrief this whole idea of budgets and financial wealth, and we do something called the 6 steps to financial freedom. I remember I had one gentleman Kath, like you, well, not exactly like you, his what he had said to me was, I don't think I have enough money. And we did this exercise. It's not this one. The exercise takes much longer, but it's 6 steps to what we call financial freedom. And he did it. And he's like, oh my God, he was like at financially abundant. And those worries that he had were really not founded. And he had much more leeway and freedom than what he was giving himself. So in those sessions, I review patterns with people that reveal really how the story shapes your life. And it's amazing how that single focused conversation can create a fresh surge of clarity and direction. And you can do that with yourself. And I'd love to do it with you. So I hope this experience today will give you that same shift. So what's your, have you written, Jen, did you rewrite your new story?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Um,
An abbreviation.
well, right now I'm dealing with feeling like I don't have enough. And it's frustrating because I did everything I was advised to do, and now it's costing me a lot of money. And it
Mm,
bothers me that when you follow what everybody says, just as an example, work
hmm
until you're 70, don't take your Social Security until you're 70. It affects you in other ways they don't tell you, which is, hey, for Medicare, we're going to look back 2 years when you were working and earning a lot of money, not after you retire and don't have that money
mm,
to give us. So,
mm,
for instance, I'm spending a lot on healthcare right now
right,
because of what I made 2 years ago.
right, right, right.
So, I have a number of things. I mean, I know basically because I have
Well, so,
financial advisors who tell me I have
right,
plenty of money,
right.
but
So wait.
I'm
So
working on
let
things
me,
to make changes for these.
okay, okay. So Jen, let's bottom line it here. What is the story you would like? Like and the things you're working on are not going to go away, but how would you like to, like if you were describing to Kath and I what your let's say 5 years from now, what it's going to look like, what would you say to us?
5 years ago, I wouldn't, 5 years from now, I won't have these concerns. They'll be
Okay,
behind me.
right. So describe that. What would that feel like?
I'll feel safer. I'll have the
Excellent.
spending money I want to have to do the things I want to do.
Excellent. Excellent. And how would that feel emotionally to you? You'll feel safer, you'll have the money, but what emotions come up about that?
I don't really know.
Okay. 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 The question then we could go deeper into that, and this is probably not the place to do that. But think about what are the emotions like, as a result of that, being feeling safer and having the money you want, and that you're okay. Can you be more adventurous, and is that joyful? Or can you make more contributions, and is that more joyful? So thinking about what you want it to look like in the future actually allows you to bring it back to today and feel those emotions, so that you're headed in the right direction. There's a lot of heaviness in finances. It's a very tough area to deal with. There's a great deal of negative emotions. Am I going to be okay? Is can I do what I want? Can I help others? So you want to at least have a story that allows you to just get rid of that heaviness and find some joy. And that's life's about, is living life with a joyful perspective. So does that help at all?
I have to think about it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Things don't change. Well, I don't know. Tony Robbins says you can change your emotional state in a heartbeat. So, but think about it and think about what, if when you can't change that story, take a look at what you're holding on to. That's having you, stay tied into that, and that would be interesting to know. So, Kath, how's your news story?
Oh, but it's just like what I said before is like, even though these people say, oh, you have to have X amount of money when you get older. No, I'm just going to, I think everything will work out. It'll be all right.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, we're going to do a little exercise here. This is brain work. So what I'd like you to do is actually repeat after me. I am the creator of wealth in my life.
I am the
I am
creator.
creator of wealth
Creator of wealth in my
in
life.
my life. Money expands as I expand.
Money expands
Expands
as
As
I
I
expand.
expand. Money expands as I expand. I learn, I grow, I receive.
I
I
learn,
learn, I
I
grow,
grow, I
I
receive.
receive. And that's really what we've just been talking about. It's a process. It is a process, Jen. And I really want to acknowledge you for being here and even talking about this. And I hope that this could give you some opening to just understanding where you are today, because I know you do that, and knowing where you want to go. So beautiful. You're training a new neuro pathway. That's what's happening. And each repetition that you say this over and over again makes it easier to choose a higher state in this area. So the next thing we wanted to talk about, or I wanted to share with you, was language. We've done this in the last couple of weeks. Language is a bridge between belief and reality. And, you know, these are the things that get us stuck, and we say them over and over again. I can't afford that, or, how can I create that? Real things that get in the way, and that those statements collapse your energy. What you want are statements that open your energy. That's why I intentionally surround myself with communities like Kathleen, that speak language of abundance. And I work with my coaching clients on doing that. It's really important. There's a saying: the 5 people you surround yourself with reflect how you see yourself and what you want in your life. So it's really important to notice who you're surrounding yourself with, and what the messages are that they're giving themselves, which actually project onto you. So, and I find that in my businesses, my affiliate marketing businesses, and in my network, it's really important to surround yourself with people that are growing and going in the direction that you want to go. And if the direction where you want to go is to have peace and quiet and just calmness in your life, associate with people that are doing that. If you want people in your life to encourage you, to inspire you, just help you to level up, then surround yourself with people like that. Otherwise, it just makes it, I say it causes you to go into suffering when what you want is not, you're not keeping in your immediate proximity. Then you're creating suffering for yourself, and it's just a struggle. It's a culture, you're creating a culture where possibility and is a normal conversation and not taboo. And that's really important when you're around people who speak empowerment and, own their own financial success and thermostat, and that you rise with them automatically as well. So, so as we've talked in the past, in other sessions we've been together, it's story, state, and language. And it's really important to manage all 3 of those. It seems like sometimes it just seems like a lot. The more you do it, the more automatic it will become. So would you just close your eyes and now breathe in gratitude and breathe out limitations. Let all that stuff, negativity out and breathe in what is possible. And say to yourself, my state creates my story, and my language shapes my wealth. My state creates my story, whether it's relationships, wealth, health, business, whatever it is. My state creates my story, and my language shapes my wealth. So that's you can open up your eyes. That's your new foundation to work from today forward. So hopefully you're feeling that momentum and that it's gone deeper into where you are in your life and in your body so that you can really take this session and create the next level of life for you, the next place of joy. I know you both are typically high on the emotional vibration scale, frequency scale, and maybe taking a look at that and living that more consistently might be the way to look at it. So, again, I offered this last time. If either of you or anyone listening to the replay is interested in a 20-minute debrief from this program to pinpoint any patterns or challenges that you might have in focusing on these steps, let me know. I put in the chat. I put my contact information, and I also wanted to say for anyone, since we are talking about finances, if anyone is looking for an ongoing vehicle to channel their growth and genius and create genuine financial freedom and residual wealth. Maybe you haven't had an experience of that. You'll occasionally hear me mention affiliate marketing opportunities. These are businesses and partnerships that I've aligned myself with and developed a community and financial expansion as a result of that. It's no pitch. I just want to be transparent. It's just about tools that can help many of us turn our mindset into measurable moments that really support our future. So remember this truth: your state is the root, your story is the seed, and your language is the water. Nurture them daily, track your emotions in your promptings, in your journal as I do, or on paper, however you do, and it will grow naturally. And I wanted to thank you guys for showing up and being part of this uh, weekly momentum and webinar series. And the next one of the financial series will be actually in 5 weeks, because we're doing 5 pillars. So it'll be in 5 weeks, and it will be on pricing with power. Charging what you're worth, not what you fear. And if you're retired, that might not be an issue. If you are building towards a future, that might be something you want to focus on. The next program we're doing is Tuesday, March 3rd, and there'll be more information to come, and that's going to be on networking and visibility. So it'll be the 5th program in this series, and I really want to thank you and Jen and Kathleen for being here. The next program will be on, as I said, it is on network and visibility, and it's going to be magnetic momentum, building aligned personal brand. So any questions? Anyone have any comments that you want to share?
No, but thank you very much.
You're welcome. I look forward to hearing more success, Kathleen. It's wonderful to hear that this feels like it's accelerated your success and your progress. So awesome. And Jen, if there's anything we can do to support you or I can do, let me know. And I really appreciate both of you being here. It's just a joy for me. So thank you. And see you
Thank you.
next
Okay, great.
week. Take care. Have
Thanks.
an outstanding day.
You
Bye.
too.